action.
Today we discuss something big, bigger than Deadpool. Well, maybe not that big, but it's still pretty big. Birth control. It's been around for decades, and in today's society, a majority of women are on birth control. So I ask you, why just women? Why are women the only one responsible for taking these steps to stop unwanted pregnancy? Looking at the history of birth control, we find that Margaret Sanger was a woman who developed the first women's birth control. This was not without challenge, as she went to jail for 30 days for being a public nuisance. Unless she was slingshotting the pill into the mouth of random women on the street, I really don't see how that is a public nuisance. I mean, it's not like she was a certain evil scientist terrorizing the town with their shenanigans. Women have been taking birth control since the 1950s. That was nearly 70 years ago. How are women the only ones?
Why isn't male birth control a thing? We took it to the streets of a college campus to ask students why they think male birth control isn't a thing. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Why do you think male birth control isn't a thing like the pills?
Because we already have condoms, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like since you already have that, you don't really need anything else. Like, that sounds really bad, but we already have that.
People say we have condoms, so then why is female birth control a thing? Don't we want multiple ways to prevent unwanted pregnancy? Females shouldn't be the only ones held responsible. Having male birth control makes it even less likely to have an unwanted pregnancy.
Too expensive, you might say? For those of you who already have knowledge about birth control for women, you know it can be expensive or sometimes not. It all depends on what method you are using to get the pill. Some insurance companies do cover it, but some don't. Even if it's out of pocket, it can range from $10 to $20, and some private companies are looking for more affordable alternatives.
Why do you think male birth control isn't a thing?
Well, I mean, girls already have birth control, and it would be a waste of money to kind of have guys have birth control, I mean, when they have condoms and everything, so really, there's just no point in it.
This is the 21st century. It's time to bring gender equality in the bedroom. Am I right, ladies?
Woo!
So maybe this isn't quite a thing yet. However, research and studies are out there creating different methods. Male birth control is in the works, and they've already come up with a pill, a switch, and a shot.
The switch is a mechanism that's located outside the scrotum, which controls how much sperm goes into the semen, if at all. It's located like any other light switch, so you can turn someone on or off, quite literally, or you can make it more intimate and have your partner do it.
The pill is like any other pill that you take daily, like one of your vitamins or supplements. It's very similar to the female birth control pill that already exists, but it's directed towards males instead of females.
The shot is like a vasectomy, only it blocks the vas deferens so you don't ejaculate with sperm. And you can reinstall fertility anytime you want with another given shot.
So we ask again, why isn't this out here yet? Money. Money is always the answer. Companies don't have enough funding to perfect these male contraceptives. We need brave, courageous men willing to help in the research to test these contraceptives. By pharmaceutical and healthcare standards, $4 billion demand nationwide is not a large enough demand for something that would take a considerable amount of time to develop. Existing contraceptive companies for women already have that market and didn't see a need for another form of contraceptives that cater specifically to men. Private nonprofit foundations dedicated to researching more affordable options for male contraceptives have been established as early as the 1990s. The science to develop these new forms of male birth control exists, but the funding needed to make it happen does not.
Older people tend to be known for their vast wisdom. One older person that we talked to was Dr. Gardner, and not only was she as cute as a button, but also provided some interesting insight on a medical level regarding her opinion on the development of male birth control. She said she wants to see people get better control of their fertility, and she thinks that male birth control would help.
But do you think that males should be responsible for that too?
Well, they're half of the combo, so I think,
Yeah.
they should be responsible for it just as soon as the female.
Do you think, like, if you would use male birth control pills? Like, if you were...
I would use some type of birth control. I don't know a thing about the male birth control pills. I've not read anything about it.
Right. It's not really, they're still doing research on it, and there's not, like, a lot out there yet, but we think that like it should be a thing, and we were just wondering what people feel about it. But thank you.
If they've been approved by the FDA and my doctor would prescribe them after giving me a complete physical, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
From the interviews that we conducted with various people, we see that the different generation views are quite extensive, and the fact that the older generation that we interviewed suggested that the health risks are more important for concern rather than the economic risk. However, the younger generation that we interviewed considered that the price is more important than the health.
I know what you're thinking. This is a great idea. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So who would not be on board? The answer? Men who believe that it's a women's job. Dude, it's the 21st century. Get with it and start to share the control. Someone else against it is condom companies. Condom companies are against male birth control because research found that if both partners were on the pill, they would be tremendously less likely to use condoms. This would cause condom sales to go way down and lead to an increase in STDs. An increase in STDs would be a huge epidemic.
Some known benefits of female birth control pills include the following: the obvious, fewer unplanned pregnancies, and other benefits of birth control pills include being treatment for acne, anemic disorder, seizure disorders, and female cancers. Although a majority of the benefits I just listed are specific to women, it shows that there is a possibility of benefits specific to men that could result from the male birth control pills.
With our project, we hope to promote gender equality while taking pre-pregnancy precautions. After conducting a short survey from men at the University of Kentucky, we discovered that most males also believe it's unfair that women are the only ones taking precautions to prevent these unplanned pregnancies. Bringing male birth control into play will be one of the driving forces to bring gender equality into the bedroom. Let's share the control.
Share the control! Share the control! Share the control!
Share the control.